All right, welcome back. Just 3 weeks until the midterms, and Republicans are now playing offense, trying to hold on to the Senate as Democrats begin to lose their lead in many of these key races. So which races should we be keeping an eye on? There's a number of states here to talk about here, and to break them down. Republican pollster Chris Wilson. Chris, thanks for coming on this morning.
Good morning.
And we are going to start off with the great state of Texas, I believe. And here we go. This is a big one. Ted Cruz and Beto O'Rourke. And he's run a very impressive campaign thus far to get this close in Texas.
He's been close for a while, but right now you've seen Senator Cruz start to extend his lead. There have been a couple of polls out that now have him up 9 points. O'Rourke has a lot of money. I think he's starting to hit a level of desperation. Probably going to go negative for the last 3 weeks. But the thing is Texans know Ted Cruz. The difference is they didn't really know Beto O'Rourke, and now he has become the most unpopular statewide figure in Texas. He's got a lot of catching up to do to kind of change that opinion back and get himself to where he's in that
unpopular statewide figure in Texas.
That's right.
Wow. Well, he's got half the state's attention, or
he's got all their state rates, $38 million, but it looks like he's about to dump it on fire.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So that's Texas. We got to keep an eye out, but Ted Cruz looks more comfortable right now than he did maybe a week or two ago. All right. Tennessee here. You got Marsha Blackburn and a very popular Democrat in Red Tennessee, the former governor.
It is, but you've also got Tennessee where Donald Trump won by 16 points. And so I've always suspected that the closeness of that race was a matter of Marsha Blackburn having to catch up. She was a member of Congress. He was a former governor, so he had statewide name ID. She's been able to nationalize the race. After she wins the primary, she's become more of a statewide figure. So you've seen her start to extend her lead to where she's now up double digits, and this one seems to be getting out of reach for the Democrats.
This is another one that was nervous for the Republicans, now getting more comfortable in a state that the Republicans should be winning. Heidi Heitkamp, Democrat in North Dakota, traditionally more of a red state.
It has been.
She was down, I think, 12 points, and then she voted against Kavanaugh. Is she toast?
This is a situation where she's the incumbent senator. She was able to win a race that not many people expect her to win. North Dakota's kind of unique in the fact that they don't have voter registration, so anybody can show up and vote. That makes it a little bit more difficult to poll. Having said that, Kevin Cramer's been the congressman there for a while, and as you said, she voted for Gorsuch, but then she voted against Kavanaugh. That feels to me like a little bit of a throwing a vote away and applying for her next job in a Democratic administration and just saying, I kind of give up. And that's what it looks like because most of the polling now has Representative Kramer up by double digits.
Double digits, and it's been that way, I guess, for a couple of weeks now.
It has.
All right. This is interesting. This could be a flip for the Republicans. He's a strong candidate. Missouri's a swing state or a Republican
It is. Josh Hawley's the Attorney General. Claire McCaskill, she really probably would have lost in 12 if you hadn't had Todd Aiken implode toward the end of the campaign, making some comments that caused him to sort of crash and burn, if you will. But right now, again, she voted against Gorsuch. She voted against Kavanaugh. It really is against where her constituents are in the state. And now you've seen a couple polls come out that have him up between 4, 6, and even one that had him up 8 points. So he's starting to extend that lead. It's another one where I think Democrats are really on the defense and Republicans are starting to feel good about it.
Okay. All right. So that could be a flip there. All right. Let's talk about Montana for a second here. This is John Tester's seat. The president can't stand this guy, and he's going to go try and help Matt Rosendale. Huh?
He is. And, this is really one where I think it'll be dependent. Matt Rosendale is going to win if President Trump goes there the weekend before the election. That's what it kind of gets down to because he is so popular in the state of Montana. But John Tester's been popular, too. But he voted against Gorsuch, voted against Kavanaugh. He also is the one who released the information on the White House surgeon.
The doctor,
Dr. Ronnie Jackson. And so he's really gotten under President Trump's skin. And I think this is one where it's kind of who's going to work harder for it. Rosendale's working hard. And I think right now you've seen a couple polls that have him moving into a tie or even a couple points ahead.
Wow. Okay. So this is another great one to watch. So we're going to have to see what happens. All right. The last two we're going to put together. This is a very interesting race in Arizona. A very tight race.
It really is. Both of these are tight races. They're both Republican defense seats where you've got Senator Heller, who's running for re-election. You've got the Flake open seat where Martha McSally's Republican nominee running against Kirsten Sinema, both members of Congress. The interesting one about this is the polling's kind of all over the map. You've had it where both Republicans are in dead heats. You've had them a couple points ahead, and even some polls have them pretty far ahead. So I feel good about, from a standpoint of Republicans holding, Heller just knows how to win in Nevada. He did it in 2012 with Obama on the ballot. He's continually had a lead. And Martha McSally versus Kirsten Sinema, a lot of, it almost felt like an oppo dump at the end of last week with a lot of comments that Kirsten Sinema had made about the voters in Arizona that probably aren't going to go over too well. So both of these they're going to be dirty.
They don't like each other. Remember, the Senate could go 53-54 to the Republicans.
Republicans are really in a situation now with those seats we're looking at in North Dakota and Missouri where they're starting to extend their map a lot.
All right. Thank you, sir, very much, Chris. All right, Carly, we'll send it over to you.
Really exciting.